That'd be cool there.
Yep.
I'm smart as hell.
I love that.
You know, I got hit in the head for 20 years. I'm smart.
Shit. I couldn't imagine.
That was the greatest fun I ever had in my life.
That's fun?
Man, it was great.
How?
I mean, all boxers are crazy.
Gotta be.
Gotta be. To get one and get hit in the head.
Exactly.
So shit, it was fun.
So you feel like you were created to box?
Yeah. It was all put together.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
From the beginning.
Yeah, you record now?
Of course, I do.
Oh, I was gonna say because I don't want to just waste no dimes. Nah, man, it was just my father, and this the crazy part because okay, my brother 10 years older than me, so my father brought him in to learn self-defense. He fell in love with boxing. Johnny Coulon was getting old. That was his right hand man. He bought the gym from him, and you know. Muhammad Ali would, come train there when he was in town. He lived in Hyde Park, 10 minutes away. So it just, man, like, I'm gonna jump off topic again. In 1992, when I tried to make the Olympic team, I was going through the Olympic process. I was the third guy. It was like, it's 2 fighters in every weight class. I was the third guy, so I kind of like, I ain't want to be like I was causing no problems, and so I kept to myself. I didn't tell people about stuff. So, and not until I made the team, did I show Chris Bird my photo album, and he saw everything with Muhammad Ali. He said, bro, you was like this with Muhammad Ali. I'm like, yeah. He said, bro, man, that shit won you 20 fights. And at that time, I'm young and dumb. I was like, man, you crazy. But as I got older, and I've been thinking about my whole life and how I did the things I did. It's just, man, my father he put together he got into the sport. He got the gym. He had his son there. I'm 2, 3, 4 years old in the gym every day. And I met Muhammad Ali and it changed my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I can honestly say that the reason I did the stuff I did in my career was because of, my father was there and taught me and everything, but just being around Muhammad Ali taught me so much that I didn't even know I was learning. You know what I'm saying? People wondered how come I was so cool under pressure. How come I never was nervous? Cause bro, I was around Muhammad Ali every day. Ain't nobody else gonna make me exciting. Yeah. Who can top Muhammad Ali? Exactly. I didn't care about Roy Jones. I didn't care about James Toney. They wasn't nothing to me. You know what I'm saying?
What was it about him that
was everything. He the confidence. Confidence. That's number one. Yeah. That's what you get from him. Confidence. He was always confident. Always talking shit. Always, saying how good he was. And you know what I'm saying? He wasn't scared of nobody. He wasn't worried. Like George Foreman. George Foreman was a big, puncher, banger, knocking motherfuckers out, knocked out Frazier, knocked out Norton. And Ali said, he gonna hit me, but it ain't gonna hurt. I ain't gonna feel it. Like he brainwashed himself into believing that. And you know what I'm saying? He was hitting the shots, getting hit with shots. And he you know what I'm saying? He wiped the shit off, went past it and beat the man. That was like, at that time, that was the biggest upset in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Around that, in the 70s, that was a huge upset. George Foreman knocked out 2 people that beat Muhammad Ali, and Ali knocked him out. So that was 74. I met him in 75. I think he fought Joe Frazier 3rd time in 75. That's when I met him in 75. And it was just, I'm gonna give you an example. Just so you understand what I'm saying. If you listen to Ken Griffey, the baseball player Ken Griffey, and I'm not comparing myself to Ken Griffey at all. I'm not saying I'm that great or nothing like that. But if you listen to Ken Griffey, he said when he was growing up, Hank Aaron and Willie Mays was over his house all the time. And the dude was like, man, that's huge, right? He like, no, it wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? When it get to that point where it ain't nothing, I mean, that's what you meant to do that shit. It's meant for you. It wasn't nothing, you know what I'm saying? Being around my house. Look, I'm gonna give you an example. In 77, I was 7 years old. I was in the gym training with Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes, Jimmy Ellis, and Tony Tubbs. Tony Tubbs was my roommate. Like every time I went to Muhammad Ali training camp 3 times in the 70s, and 2 times for a camp. Well, I stayed there like a couple of months, and Tony Tubbs was my roommate, and we went in. I want to say maybe Rochester, yeah, Rochester, New York Hall of Fame, and I told him a story, and he cracked up laughing, like when a kid or somebody tell you a story, you know, you kind of what they talking about. You know what they talking about, but then when they really say something, and I showed him how he was dancing.
Yeah.
He was dancing like Rerun.
Yeah.
He used to dance like Rerun. He cracked up laughing so hard. So he's like, man, I know he know what he's talking about. So it was just like, man, just that was just normal for me, man.
Okay.
It's normal, you know what I'm saying? And just I was in the gym. 2, 3, 4 years old, 5, was doing exhibitions, sparring and stuff. You couldn't fight officially till you was 10. The amateur boxing, it's 8 now, but it was 10 in the 70s.
Okay.
And I'm sure they moved the age up so because kids was just fighting exhibitions, had 20 exhibitions with that don't count.
Yeah.
So they dropped the age to 8 now. So what my father did, he moved me. I was 9. He said, you fighting at 9. We gonna see where you at. I'm like, all right. So I won my first fight. I ain't had no problem. The second fight though, I fought a kid named Kenny Mack. I'll never forget. Sam Mack. He was an Indian, and he was just too big for me. He probably was 11. I was 9. I wasn't even upset about losing. He was just.
Weight class, it was just the age.
We was the same weight class, but that's what I'm saying. They got age brackets too.
Okay.
So. Like, it's supposed to have been 10, 11, but I was 9. Okay. So, like I said, I won one fight, I lost a fight. I didn't feel bad about it. I was like, they too big, you know what I'm saying? The next year, I went back. And I did real good. I made it to the semifinals. But right before my fight, my father told me, said, if you win, I'm not letting you fight in the championship because I know the other kid is too old. And we found out years later that he was too old. He was cheating. That shit was crazy. That's the dirtiest shit in the world. You fighting kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he was knocking everybody out and beating kids up in 5, 10 seconds. Yeah. It was sad. But anyway, so going into the fight, I'm not gonna say that didn't. I thought I won the fight. I landed the kid. I walked by, one of the judges winked at me. I thought, we good. I ain't get the decision, so I went home in the semifinals. And I had one more tournament I fought in at 12. The silver gloves. I went to the silver gloves or junior gloves? The silver gloves. I went to silver gloves championship, semifinal. I was beating this kid ass, and he hit me in the back of the head, and I went down. And I got up, and the referee stopped the fight. He ain't check me, he ain't count. You know what I'm saying? He just stopped the fight. I'm like, what the fuck? And that was my father's last fight he saw me. Okay. So the last time he saw me fight, I lost. So that's crazy.
Okay.
And,
how did he get into boxing? Or just
that's what I'm saying. He took, at the time, my brother Tim, he's Amasa now. He took him to Johnny Coulan's, 1154 East 63rd Street. I'll never forget, the address. And like I said, he just fell in love with the game and bought the gym. I don't know. I never spoke to him as a grown man. Mm-hmm. That's one thing that really bothered. I mean, there's a lot of things that bother me not having a father, but
he still had a big influence on you.
Great influence. I mean, just look what I've done in my life.
I see.
And my father was only there 12 and a half years.
Right. And
everything I did was because of him. So he was huge. He was huge in my life, man. You know what I'm saying? He had me around Muhammad Ali about 8 years of my life, from 5 to about 12, 7 years, and it was just great, man. We'd be at the gym, and my father would be on the call. He'd hang up and say, "Hey, I'll be here later on," and I wasn't thinking about him coming to the gym. Every time he came to the gym, he always invited. Every time he trained, he would say, "Griff, what you getting ready to do?" My father said nothing. He'd like, "Come by the house." Every time we went over his house, it was the exact same conversation. And I knew when he came to the gym, okay, we going to his house. So, and I love that. And every time Every time my father lock up, we go across the street. Ali say, come on ride with me. I look at my father, he's like, go ahead. I'm like, all right, I'll get in the car. And then, he'd be like, go ahead. Just one day I was like, why you always tell me to ride with him? I just want to see what he's going to say. He's like, son, man, you just don't even understand what you're doing right now. He said, when you get older, you'll understand. He said, what you're doing right now is huge. And I started understanding it even as a youngster, because when people saw pictures of Muhammad Ali, I just saw how they acted. Like, oh my God, like I'm like yeah, I'm like, it's normal, yeah. I'm like, he's just a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? I thought, who don't see Muhammad Ali? But I didn't know that people don't. You know what I'm saying? That I was just fortunate because I was in a boxing gym. But it's the most important thing in my career.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to ask you about the Roy Jones fight, Roy Jones Jr.
Right.
fight. Because when I tell people who you are, introduce them, that's what I know. I'm
Right.
only 38. So I looked up to you like my cousin fought a big time fighter and we held the title. Like
right.
My cousin's a boxer.
Right.
My cousin did this with Muhammad Ali, like you were around. So like that was big to me because I like watching boxing. I would never get in the ring to fight nobody.
Right.
My daughter has.
Right.
She's 22 now, but I like watching it. But when I think of you, like to me, that was a big fight. And I didn't really understand what was going on at the time.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
So, to me, I'm bigging you up to everybody. And they're like, oh, well, he lost that fight. I'm like, did he lose it? Explain to me, like, what?
Okay, this I'm gonna tell you the first thing about life and people going with their heart. Mm-hmm. People go with their heart with everything. Roy Jones hit me with a legal punch.
Okay.
2 illegal punches. Well, he loaded up on the second one. Well, I could have died or got hurt, anything. I just pray to God I didn't lose consciousness. What he did was dirty. He was frustrated. Mm-hmm. I was beating his ass. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's my man. I love him to death. I love him to death now. He's my man. We talk shit to each other. He told me, he said, bro, for 9 rounds it's a chess match. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So now, you want to say that now, okay, 1997, I think it was March 97. So they said that Roy Jones was the greatest fighter in history. In March of 1997, he was the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. They say he's the greatest fighter in history. If he is the greatest fighter in history, it got to show that I'm a Hall of Famer, at least. The greatest fighter in history, I was winning on the scorecards. And I thought I was winning the fight easy. He got credit for the knockdown. We was in the corner, he threw a punch and leg with me, and I slipped. You know what I'm saying? If you watch the replay, he know he didn't hit me. He didn't hurt me because he didn't even jump out fast after the knockdown. He just came back out. No, he knew it wasn't no knockdown. So that's why I was winning on one scorecard. I was losing by 1 point on one and losing by 2 points on both. But if he don't get credit for the knockdown, I'm winning the fight, which I was winning anyway. I was beating the man every round. So he got frustrated. Kevin Kelly told me, he said, I want to say a few days after the fight, he said, bro, Roy Jones told me, he said, man, I ain't never been in the ring with nobody who I couldn't hit. And that's a great compliment. That's a great compliment. And another thing, because of Muhammad Ali, this is the bad side. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you wanna learn good things and bad things from people, whatever. The bad side was Muhammad Ali would let people hit him.
On purpose?
Yeah, because this was the 70s. Okay. He felt that if he take punches in the gym, he'd be able to do it in the fight, which is, it makes sense, but it's no.
I'm a Capricorn, he's a Capricorn, and he thinks like that. Like,
it don't make sense. I can understand what he's saying, but it don't make sense at all. Okay. And you know why? Why? Because of brain damage.
True.
It's the most dangerous sport in the world. Yes. I suffer from everybody suffers from brain damage, you know what I'm saying? There's other reasons, you know what I'm saying, I got around it, but so I wanted to be, so defensive. I didn't want to get hit.
Yeah.
So that's why I just made sure I was always just, not getting hit. But Yeah, man. So me and Roy Jones fought a hell of a fight for 9 rounds. Like I said, I was winning the fight, man. I had so many. I was sitting after the fight. I was in a car with my first wife, Troy, and I was like, man, I was beating this motherfucker. I was like, man, I ain't want to win this shit like this. Fuck, I got a damn disqualification. I was beating this motherfucker, and we went to the WA convention, and all the champs, everybody I talked to was like, look, bro, you won that fight. Like people walking up to me like right off the bat, knowing that that fight, something like that, give you doubt. 3-4 people walked up and said, hey, bro, you won that fight, man. Nate Miller, he was a cruiserweight champ. I remember he walked up to me, and I was a big fan of his. He said, champ, you won that fight, man. He did that shit because you was whooping his ass. So after that, when I went to that WA convention, it made me accept the fight. Even though, I know I'm always going to have to argue, and, it's always going to be, well, they always say, oh, yeah, but what about the rematch? Okay, but what about the rematch? Anyway, this how good I was. This how I go to sleep every night knowing that I did not get a fair chance to revenge the title I won. I talked to Roy Jones about it. He admitted to me, I heard what they did to you. Like, he said, man, he said, man, I heard what they did, but I ain't had nothing to do with it. So I'm saying that's what I got to respect him. Because the reason I respect him, because he's Roy Jones, he's a superstar. He could be like, man, fuck you, I knocked you out, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But he ain't. He real because he know the fucking truth. Yeah. And he be like, man, you a great motherfucker. It was a chess match for 9 rounds. If I text him right now, he texts me back in 5-10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So he got respect for me, man. And you know what I'm saying? Even though I didn't get the respect for boxing, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I never really got back what I put in this game, man. I bled, man. I bled and cried many nights because I love this game so much, and I gave it my all. And you know what I'm saying? I don't think, I don't, well, I know it never really gave me back what I put into it, and that bothers me.
Okay. What do you think about the game now? Like what it is? Like when you see Jake Paul fighting, I say actual boxers because I feel like Jake Paul is like a fan of boxing.
I don't have no problem with Jake Paul. I think he's good for the game.
Absolutely.
I think people are sensitive and go with their heart too much. He's not doing nothing but helping the game. He helps the women. Amanda Serrano, he makes sure that she make a certain amount of money. So you can't do nothing but respect him. I got mad respect for them. As far as like Fury fought the other day and Wilder, you know what I'm saying? I think it's time for them to hang it up because I don't want them to get hurt. And I don't want to mess up get like bad stuff on their legacy, whatever. But the game is in great hands. Shakur is probably pound for pound the greatest fighter in boxing, as far as skill wise. And the kid Keyshawn Davis is awesome. And boxing is in good hands. There's a lot of great young up and coming fighters.
Okay. Women's sports, because that's a big conversation right now when it comes to basketball. Flag football, my daughter does flag football. We have one of the biggest leagues out right now, the Gridiron Queens, and it's growing. Last year we had a lot of girls, but this year we have like 90 girls. We got a bunch of teams. We played teams out south and everything like that. And Clarissa Shields recently, maybe like a couple months ago, said that she wanted to fight Layla Ali, and they was trying to put up money for that.
Man, Layla Ali, 47 years old, man. They ain't no fight I would want to see.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I think Layla had her last fight I think she hadn't fought in 14 years. I think the last time when I checked it was 14 years. No, I told her. I sent her a message. I said, man, you bet not come back and fight that girl. She was like, man, I ain't thinking about that girl. You know what I'm saying?
You think Krista is like who she say she is?
Yeah, this is the thing about great women. Clarissa is great. She's a great fighter. It's just that the opposition is not as good. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So she need that fight with Layla become a mega star. You know what I'm saying? So
Who do you think would be a great match for Clarissa right now?
that's what I'm saying. Like the girls who are great fights for her, they all too small. Amanda Serrano and the other girl, all the girls that fight each other and they superstar. Like they sold out Madison Square Garden. I was in New York. They sold out the Garden. I'm like, damn, women's boxing. So she don't just like I'm saying. She don't have the opposition. You know what I'm saying? Like when Layla ended up fighting Joe Frazier's daughter. You know what I'm saying? That was a big fight because you know what I'm saying. They had the names to go to go behind. Clarissa, she need that big fight, but she just can't get it. Ain't there. So that's why she want to fight Layla.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now, like with your boxing gym, and what are you providing for the community since you pretty much stepped out of actually boxing and things like that?
Yeah. Well, my last fight was 2011. I'm gonna be 56 in June. The gym been open 9 years. We had some good days and bad days. It's just like come with the business. I had surgery, back surgery, I think on 2024, and it just kind of threw everything off. And I'm just steady trying to build things back the way they were. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah.
So do you host like events or anything like that in here?
We did. We're gonna start doing like a monthly karaoke night. Really? It was a big hit. Yeah. I did Rick James and everybody liked it. So we're gonna do that monthly. And we got Jermaine Howlett. He's I think 10-0, 11-0 as a pro cruiserweight. He's doing pretty good right now. He's probably the hottest one right now we got going on. And we just like I said, I'm just trying to keep the doors open, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like a celebrity boxing match? Like something for the city, Chicago related?
Well, it's funny that Celebrity Boxing actually called me last week and they were supposed to put together something. They want me to be part of the show, but they haven't called me back yet. But I like I always said that I need to find my Muhammad Ali that my father had. You know what I'm saying? Well, he helped him out. He hired me, put him on staff. You know what I'm saying? Well, Ali, my father was paid to work the second Spinks fight. He was on staff and everything, so that was cool. So I need that. I need my Muhammad Ali, to, cause you know what I'm saying. Like I've been over 9 years, and a lot of times when things were slow, I was paying for it out of my own pocket. I can't do that no more. I can't do it no more. Right. So man, I'm just trying to get more fans. Go more members, and just keep rolling.
What do you think people misunderstand about fighters?
Most people they think fighters are like tough guys, like we just walk around everybody. It ain't nothing like you. Most of the time, every time I talk to somebody, they be like, man, you ain't nothing like I thought you was gonna be. Like a lot of people think I'm quiet. A lot of people think I'm mean. They say I come off like that. I'm the silliest dude in the world, but like I don't really talk like as much as I used to. I kind of like can calm down, but I'm a Philly guy.
What do you want your legacy to feel like? And not just look like when people think back on it?
Man, I just want to, I think I deserve to be a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
An international boxing Hall of Famer. I know I didn't hold a title that long and everything, but the way nobody did in boxing what I did. I took off 8 years. I quit boxing at 12. I had about 13, 14 fights from 9 to 12. I quit 8 years, and I came back. And I was sparring the #1 middleweight in the world. 2-3 weeks out. How did I get that good? From 12 years old, I didn't box after 12 years old. At 20 years old, I went to LA. I was sparring Reggie Johnson. How could I get good enough to spar him? I was sparring Larry Musgrove. You know what I'm saying? Larry whipped my ass. Larry was the first one. He the first one who sparred me. He whipped my ass, and then once I got to a certain point, it was over. Like once I hit where I was supposed to hit, we sparred. I played with him. It was over. It was over. Like he never could even. He couldn't even challenge me no more. You know what I'm saying? But he whooped my ass until he got to that point. And then I started sparring Reggie Johnson. He was fighting at the Forum for the #1 spot, mandatory. And I had like one amateur fight. I was sparring this dude. He was giving me $250 a week, a month or something. Yeah, $250 a week, whatever. Spar with him, and shit, it was awesome, man. This sparring Reggie Johnson. I sparred Reggie Johnson. Then I made the team. Then I sparred James Toney. Those are two guys that let me know I was good enough to be in boxing. You know what I'm saying? When I sparred Reggie Johnson, I sparred James Toney. I was like, I'm good enough. So I only fought amateur a year and a half. I was like, I made the Olympic team, so I was like, should I stay amateur? I was like, fuck, I made the Olympic team, I'm gonna turn pro. So I turned pro. And so I had 30 amateur fights. I won the U.S. championships with 20 fights. I beat a world champion with 21 amateur fights in Moscow. I beat him unanimously. Andrei Kunyavka, I beat the shit out of him in Moscow. I had 21 amateur fights. Then I came back, I won the Canada Cup, and I beat the eventual silver medalist, the guy who won the silver medal in '92. I beat him a month before the Olympics. And I was maybe 28, 29 fights. And then Jeremy Williams. Jeremy Williams was an amateur star. He had never lost to an American. He lost to the two Russians who I beat, but he had never lost to an American. I was the first American that beat him, and I made the Olympic team. I did that with 30 amateur fights. I think nobody have done what I did in that small amount of time. I know they're saying the kid in Australia, Jeff Finnick, did something like that, but he didn't beat the fighters I beat. I turned pro. I fight amateur 1.5 years. I had my first fight in February '91. I had my last fight in June of '92, so only 1.5 years. I turned pro. I fought a kid named Katie King, who was an amateur star. I beat him my 7th fight. Then I fought Ray Lathan. He was undefeated, 14-0, 13 knockouts. This motherfucker he hit so, to this day, he the hardest man I've hit in my life. I beat him. That was my 14th fight. Then I got the fight with James Toney. I beat James Toney my 15th fight. He was a 2-time world champion and a Hall of Famer. And I boxed 2 years pro. Nobody did that in boxing history. So in 3.5 years, I made a Olympic team and beat a Hall of Famer. Ain't nobody did that.
Yeah, you definitely
Ain't nobody did that in 3.5 years. And that's why I deserve to be a Hall of Famer. And you know what I'm saying? I don't even got to talk about the second fight with James Toney. I beat him. Then I beat Roy Jones, who they say was the greatest fight ever. I ain't got to even talk about that. In a 3.5 year period, I made an Olympic team with 30 amateur fights, and I beat a Hall of Famer with 14 pro fights. Come on. So I'm 56 now. I know, you know, the clock is ticking. We on, you know what I'm saying? We went up to 50 years old. You get to the top. Now I'm on the head and down. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna try to live as long as I can. But when I'm dead, I just want them to say, man, Montell Griffin is the greatest fighter that came from Chicago. It ain't no fucking question. Nobody else better than me. Ain't nobody else did what I did. I'm the greatest fighter in Chicago history. I don't get no fucking love. Not from my city, not from nothing. It is what it is, but I know I'm a Hall of Famer and I deserve to be it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
If you could sit with your younger self, what would you say to the younger version of yourself?
Man,
would you do anything different?
Yeah, leave the liquor alone. Take care of yourself. Train right. Like when I look at Floyd Mayweather, I look at like that's what I should have did. I should live like that, clean and not drinking and everything. You know, it just I ain't had no father. You know what I'm saying? And my brother, I had a brother, but my brother wasn't in my life after my father died, so I never really took his words like I should have. Don't get me wrong. It's things he told me I listened to and I started paying attention to and everything, but he wasn't in my life when I felt like, you know what I'm saying, I needed him. But he was a kid too. Like when I got older, I understood. He was 22. You know what I'm saying? So he got to, you know, he could try to find his own way. So it don't bother me now, but back then it bothered me. We talked about it. I'm like, bro, you wasn't in my life when I needed you, but it's all good. But it is what it is. And I just wish I lived right. Mm-hmm. I remember Jesse Reed, my trainer when I was in amateurs. He told, I heard a kid say, man, I heard them telling, this kid was telling him, like, man, this kid skills is, talking about me, he's like, man, this kid's skill is awesome, man. This is one of the greatest fighters I've seen. And Jesse was like, yeah, he got it all. I just hope he don't take his skills for granted. And I took them for granted. Because I knew I could get in. I knew I was better than people. So I didn't care. A lot of times I got fat. You know, we get the greatest food in the world here.
Yes,
I come home, and that's why I used to go to Vegas to train just to get away. I come home and eat all this good ass food. Yeah. I had one thing I can say. I had friends that told me, "Hey, it's time for you to leave. Like it's time for you to go back." Like when I was kicking it 2 buck rider, hey, it's time. So that's the number one thing I wish I would have did different.
What do you feel like was one of the hardest emotions to express as a fighter?
The hardest emotions?
Yeah.
I can't really. It's kind of like a. I mean, I stayed so kind of relaxed and laid back. That was my whole thing. I didn't want to lose my head. I want to stay relaxed and you know what I'm saying. You want to control everything that's going on with the fight. I watched my fight with James Toney the other day. I just was bored and I turned it on. He fought when I wanted him to fight. You know what I'm saying? I didn't let him. And the one thing I did that I've never. It was the first time I ever did in my life. I don't know if you heard of fighting in the pocket. So we stood right in front of each other. I had never fought in the pocket with nobody ever in my career until I fought James Toney that day. That was the first time I ever did it. I fought right in the pocket, stayed right there with him. The thing with James Toney, I'm gonna tell y'all, the thing between James Toney and Mike McCallum, who I sparred both of them and I fought James, they so skillful and so great, but they not fast. So my speed controlled their speed. So it's like, that's why I was always a step ahead of them because I was faster than them. Like we could both do the exact same thing, but me being faster than them let me get away with stuff more than they could. And that's why I had my way with them.
Okay. Do you see anybody in Chicago right now that's good at boxing that could really take it to a...
Well, I know we got the kid, Kenny Sims, who I spent a lot of time. We sparred about 4 or 5 years ago. He fought a couple of big fights. So I hope the best for him. I think hopefully he can get. I know his dream is to be a world champ, so hopefully he can make his accomplishment.
Okay. Do you have any words for anybody that want to be a boxer today?
Man, if you want to be a boxer, I'm gonna tell you why the game is struggling. Like when I in the '70s, it used to be like 100 fights. Like the fights would start at 7 and go 2, 3 in the morning. You know, so I remember that every day. Now you go to the fights, it's 10 fights, it's 20 fights. It's the hardest sport in the world, and there's so much to do now that people think like, why am I gonna do this? You know what I'm saying? It's so much other. It's people becoming millionaires on social media that ain't getting hit in the head. So it's just like boxing is hard. So basically, the ones that's tough enough to do it, that's who's doing it now. There used to be a lot of guys who just was trying, who didn't go that far. Not just the toughest ones that could do it is doing it. Because it's a hard sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any last words?
I hope everything, go good with your podcast and everything you're trying to do. I'm trying to get more members at my gym. I'm at 2150 South Canal Port, Windy City Boxing Club. We're in the basement. You know what I'm saying? Come sign up. We got classes, open gym. We do one-on-ones. The kids love it. You know what I'm saying? Kids love the classes. We got adults and kid classes. So come on down if you get a chance.
Dope. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We're going to get this out here and make sure the world remember who you are and put you where you're supposed to be at.
Man, I'm just
top with the greatest.
I'm just trying to go before it's too late.